Now, whether you're a content creator on YouTube or you just want to capture your adventures that you can later watch and maybe share with your friends, a lot of questions that I get are what cameras do you use and what camera angles are best for being able to capture my adventure that makes it exciting and doesn't bore the viewer. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the camera gear I use as well as the angles and hopefully make your videos a little bit better in the future. Let's get into it. So real quick, I just want to be upfront and let you know that I by no means think that I am a pro when it comes to videography. I've been making videos on YouTube since 2016 and I have definitely made a lot of mistakes. And really the reason that I wanted to make this video for you guys is because I get the questions all the time, and really I hope that by showing you some of these tips and tricks and also some of the camera gear that I use, it really just helps you with the trial and error that I had to go through in the past. So I recently had an opportunity to work with Brett Tax from the Brett Tax channel. If you don't know Brett Tax and his channel, definitely check it out. There's a link down below. But he is a very good content creator and coach when it comes to adventure motorcycles. He has well over 100,000 subscribers and he has a lot of experience, not only with videography, but he also has a ton of experience with just writing in general and produces some excellent content. So make sure and check out his channel. When we were working together, we realized that we have a lot of the same camera gear. Now, he uses some things that I don't use, but in general, we both use GoPros, we both use 360 cameras, and we both use drones for a lot of our footage. Now, some of the differences that we have is that he likes to carry a lot of his camera gear on his self or in a pack, while I carry it on my motorcycle. Now, you can check out his video. He's doing a very similar video to this that he's releasing at the same time as this one. So the point of this is to be able to watch this one and go and watch his and really kind of compare and see what works best for you. So what I'd like to do is just show you some of the camera gear that I use as well as the camera angles I use as a solo creator to get the shots to make my videos as entertaining as possible. Now, as I mentioned, I use a couple of GoPros with different angles to be able to capture moments, as well as a 360 camera and a drone. And the main GoPro that I use is a GoPro 10. I recently picked that up. In the past, I have used both a GoPro 7 and a GoPro 8 for the last several years. And the new GoPro 10 just has a lot of cool features that I like personally. But you can totally get by with a GoPro 8 or even a GoPro 7. The real difference in the 7 and the 8 is that anything 8 and above is going to have a lot better stabilization. So if you have the ability to pick up an 8 or newer, I kind of suggest you do that. So starting with the main camera, I use a GoPro 10 on my helmet. I use it on the chin. That way you get that good POV look. When you're standing on the motorcycle, you get just a little bit of the windshield. And if you use the super wide, then you also get, your handlebars in there. So it really makes the viewer feel like they are there on the motorcycle. That's the main reason that I use this angle and this camera configuration on my helmet. You'll notice that I have a foam cover on here. Now what this does is it reduces the wind noise dramatically. There are also some other things you can do to do that, putting little furry dead cats on there to reduce wind noise, and also maybe even using the GoPro Media mod. But in my experience so far, this $11 foam cover that covers all the microphones does an excellent job of cutting out wind noise. And even with it being so close to your mouth, I don't need to run a microphone on the inside to be able to get some decent audio when I want to narrate what's going on. Now you'll also notice here that I have a battery pack on the side of my helmet. This is a very thin, lightweight battery pack. And I just used some Velcro on it. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, on the helmet. And what this does is allows me to plug my camera in with a USB-C cord, and I can go all day on this one battery pack without ever changing one GoPro battery. If you know about GoPros, you know that one of the most frustrating things is that the GoPro battery life is not very good. So being able to plug this in, be able to start and stop the camera without having to worry about the battery dying throughout the day is a complete game changer. So if you want me to do a full setup on this, I can kind of show you in a later video of what my helmet setup is. But in general, this is what I do to make sure that my battery lasts all day and I can get the best footage. So another fun camera angle to use is one from the rear or a rear facing camera. I use a GoPro 7 here, and you can see this little red light is on right now. And I have a power cord going into here. So just like the helmet, I'm able to charge this camera while going down the road or going down the trail. Now this camera, again, Picks up, obviously, from the rear, so if I have somebody following me, or I'm going through some terrain that I would like to pick up from the rear, this is a really good option to do that. It also picks up really good exhaust sound, because the exhaust is right here, and it's not blowing directly into the camera, so it's not really distorted, and you get that good, you know, throttle response sound. So now your next question probably is, well, how do I turn around and start and stop this camera? The short answer to that is I don't. I actually control it from my handlebars. So right here on the handlebars, I do have a GoPro remote, and I'm able to turn this on, and what it does, it connects wirelessly to the camera, and I can start and stop the camera with that record button. The nice thing about this is it'll tell me you know, how full my memory card is, since my memory card really is the only limiting factor with this camera since it's plugged in all the time. And it'll tell me, like with this red light flashing, that the camera actually is recording. So a really neat feature to be able to record from the rear. So right here you have another good camera angle. It's from the handlebars and it is facing the rider. And this is good for moto vlogging when you're talking to the audience or talking to the camera. That way when riding down the highway or down the trail, you can sit here and you can actually talk to the camera and not have to worry about just having a angle of, you know, over the windscreen and whatnot. So this allows me to talk directly to the camera, facing the camera. This camera angle doesn't actually work very well though, standing up, because you just basically get the rider's chest or stomach, which isn't very appealing. So this has limited use and I don't always use it, but it is a good option. Now another good angle that I like and have used quite a bit is this low angle right here off the crash bars. Nice thing about this is that you get to get a lot of wheel movement while going down the trail. You can really get a lot of movement from the tire going up and down over the rocks and bumps and so on. So this is a really fun one to use as well. The big problem with this one is, one, if the bike goes down, it's super vulnerable to getting messed up or broken. Also, I've broken lenses on these in the past as well from having rocks come up and rock ship them and shatter the lens. So normally I will run actually a GoPro 7 here, because the 7 lens is easily removable, whereas the 8, it's not removable, and if you break it, you pretty much ruin your camera or have to send it in. So if you are going to run this, I would definitely run an older model, or even maybe a 9 or a 10, the newer model that has the removable lenses. But just know that you got to be very careful, because again, if the bike goes down, it's basically the first thing that's going to hit. Now the next camera angle that I use is this 360 camera, and the cool thing about this one is that you can put it out here. It doesn't matter if it's pointing the direction that you want it to or not. It uses 2 different lenses to literally track and capture everything around in 360 degrees, hence a 360 camera. You don't have to worry about if it's pointing at what you want to record. You can go back in post-production and actually move the angle around and get exactly what you want to be able to use in that footage. Also, one cool thing about it is whatever is directly underneath it, whether it be a tripod or this little articulating arm, it actually makes that invisible. The way that the technology, it stitches it together, the 2 lenses together, this disappears. So you never get this here. What's cool about this is that you can see what's going on in front of you and then rotate the camera around and see the rider. I use this camera here as well as on the rear, and I'll show you that. But just another little camera angle that's fun to use to be able to give the viewer a little bit of a variety. So now another camera angle that I use with the 360 camera, and really this one is kind of funky going down the road because you get a lot of weird looks, but I keep the 360 camera sometimes on this selfie stick. And now what that does is it gives you kind of this third person, almost like drone appearance, as if a drone or a low flying drone is following you going down the road. Now again, you kind of just have to get over the fact that people are going to look at you weird when you're filming these kind of things. But this is actually a really fun angle, and the stabilization on these cameras is insane, because even though this camera is up here doing this, and once you take the video and you actually look at it in post, it really does a great job of stabilizing the footage. But yeah, going down the road with a camera just kind of up in the air like a flag can make you get some weird looks, but again, it's just something you kind of have to get over, because the angle that it gives you is super fun to use, and it's just one of those ones that is pretty unique. So if you have a 360 camera, definitely try out this angle. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, unlike Brett, I do carry almost all of my camera gear on my motorcycle and not use a pack or anything like that. And for me, the reason I do that is I feel like it's most protected when it's up here on the bike instead of on me. If I fall off my bike, it could potentially get broken. And being up here when the bike goes over, this very rarely hits the ground. Just like my tank bag, I also store some stuff in there. In these two bags here, I keep my drone and a few other little knickknacks for camera gear in here, and I'll pull that out here in a second. And I keep some of my more professional gear here on top with like ND filters, maybe some batteries for my drone and a few other things in here. Now in the tank bag, mainly what I keep in here is mainly my GoPro stuff, like my GoPro batteries, some little connections for connecting it to different ram ball mounts, and a few extra things. I also carry my 360 batteries in here. And then I utilize these Moto pouches. Now these are on my website, kind of a shameless plug, but I've been using these for years. Moto makes these awesome Coeur pouches, and they're great for just like gear organization. I use it for my GoPro items. I use it for my my other camera gear with microphones and whatnot, my power cords. And I know it, and they're color coded, so for me, so I know that, you know, I can easily grab the thing that I'm looking for. They also have a bright orange on the inside. That way, you know, in dim light, you can really see what you're looking for. Anyway, in this pouch here, I'll carry maybe a camera light, a small tripod, and a few other little, you know, camera knickknacks as well. But yeah, that all this stuff goes inside my tank bag and is easy to quick grab when I need it. Moving to my tail bag. As I mentioned, in this compartment here, it was raining outside. That's why this bag is wet. I was gonna shoot this video outside, but then we had a nice little downpour, so I decided to shoot it inside. Again, I keep my drone in that pack on the back, and I usually carry the Skydio 2. I used to carry a DJI drone, and I really, really liked it. It's one of the best drones that you can use for actually remote flying, but I noticed that I wasn't using it as much when I got this Skydio, and then for a while I was being real crazy, and I was carrying both drones, and I realized that's just too much stuff to carry on the bike, and it takes up too much room. So now I primarily just about all the time carry the Skydio 2 instead. And what's nice about this drone is that you can autonomously fly it, have it fly it and follow you, or you can fly it manually and get those panoramic shots or those scenery shots that you're looking for when you're wanting to do B-roll and whatnot. So for me, one of the things that's different between mine and Brett's, Brett really prefers the DJI drone and I prefer the Skydio, but they're both excellent options. If you are looking for one, definitely check out both options and see which one works best for you. Now finally, another thing that I carry, again in these Moto pouches, is memory cards. I carry a little Pelican case inside of that with a ton of different memory cards just to be able to have backups in the event one doesn't work, I lose one, files become corrupted. And then I also carry a couple of these little 2 terabyte SanDisk SSD drives. If you've seen my video for the Idaho BDR, I was using a different type of hard drive, and I lost a ton of footage on that, and it was super disappointing. I actually back up things 3 times now, 1 on my iPad, and then 2 on these 2 SanDisk 2 terabyte hard drives. That way, that never happens again. So another camera that's overlooked all the time, and in my opinion is an excellent camera, is your cell phone. The new cell phones, whether it be an iPhone or an Android, these cameras on these phones are excellent. So for doing vlogging around camp, or just trying to capture a quick video of what's going on in your travels, your cell phone is an awesome way to be able to do that. 1, it's very convenient to grab and start shooting. And 2, the quality is amazing on these phones. Your cell phone is an excellent tool, so definitely don't forget about that. Lastly, another little tool that's great that I use all the time, and it's kind of a bonus. This is definitely one that's not necessary, especially with, like I said, the phone and the GoPros. The stabilization on those is amazing as well. I carry a DJI Pocket 2. Now, this is a gimbal style camera. Again, it's a gimbal, so it's very, very stable. It does shoot 4K, It's very high quality. It does go in this little case and it literally does fit into your pocket. So it is a nice little piece to carry again in your tank bag. And it does, the Creator Kit comes with a microphone as well. So you could substitute this for the Rode microphone that I'm using now, the Wireless Go, if you wanted to, if you were just gonna carry this. So that's another good option as well. Now, really the last thing you might consider carrying are some tripods. You can get tripods down very small now these days. This is a Gorilla Pod with a cell phone holder on it. You can also get these little selfie stick tripods that are, that extend out. These are really nice to have. And again, they fold down very small and are easily just to throw into your bag. Again, all this stuff I carry in this bag on my tail bag. If I wasn't a content creator and I wasn't creating videos to put out, I could definitely travel with a lot less stuff, but that's just kind of what I do. It's fun for me, it's a hobby. I really hope this video answers some of your questions you had, and definitely head over and check out Brett's video. He has, again, some of the similar equipment, but also some very different equipment as well to make some great videos while he travels. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button to help support the channel. Also, if you'd like to go a little further and support the channel, head over to my website, backcountryadvmoto.com. There you can purchase gear like shirts, hats, and more. That all goes into the channel to help produce more videos in the future. I've also created a producer link on there where you can, it's very similar to Patreon, where you can make monthly donations. And again, all of that goes right back into the channel for gear and to be able to travel and make more videos for you guys. So that being said, once again, thank you so much for checking out this video. Make sure and head over and check out Brett's. We'll see you next time.